Hello, this is Claude Sports Corner, and this is the Pittsburgh Steelers report for Week 2 against the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, as we know, the Steelers will have their first home game against Cincinnati in Week 2, and it looks like, for the most part, for the Steelers, all hands are on deck outside of probably Cody Wallace, and of course, we have the two suspended guys, Le'Veon Bell and Martavis Bryant, of course, will be suspended for the entire season. In fact, I won't even bring him up after this. Also, Cody Wallace is hurt, and he'll more than likely be out. But Ryan Shazier did practice, even though he was limited in his participation, and I think that he will be ready to go on Sunday. And we really need him, let's face it. Shazier had a huge game last week against the Washington Redskins. You saw him even in coverage deny Jordan Reed of a touchdown. And even though Tyler Eifert is out for the Cincinnati Bengals, their tight end filled in pretty well for them last week. And of course, they do have one of the top five, easily a top five. If you want to say he's outside the top five, I think he's definitely a top five guy. A.J. Green, who I really enjoy watching. A.J. Green is a great player. He always gives us a problem, and I expect more of the same, actually, this Sunday. You know, it's so funny. Ike Taylor, he wasn't the greatest corner, and I understand, like, the last couple of years, and dare I say, ever since the Tebow game up until he retired, he wasn't that great. But he always had the knack of limiting A.J. Green because he was physical with him. And you have to be physical with A.J. Green, even though he's a very good physical specimen himself. But Ike Taylor knew how to play him. Now, William Gay is not that type of corner. He just isn't. He's not physically built like that, and he's not exactly what you would call a press corner. He is definitely a zone coverage guy, but he can anticipate well. But he is a feast or famine person. And more than likely, we're going to probably roll Robert Golden over there, you know, because he's going to need some safety help. We're going to have to mix it up, of course. But luckily for us, Andy Dalton is what I call a B- quarterback. And he's one of those guys. And he'll probably play pretty well for the most part. But if we play like we did last week against Kirk Cousins, who, of course, I consider a C- quarterback, and we should do well. Especially with the considerable push that we are getting up front with Jamon Hargrave. I'm telling you, take a look at how many times this young man gets double teamed. He is almost impossible to block one-on-one. And he has done a very good job in collapsing the pocket. And the Steelers need to do that. And we also need to make them one-dimensional, as they were last week against the Jets. It's funny, the Jets had all those sacks, still lost the game. Now, we can't allow that to happen. And happily, we do get Marcus Wheaton back, and that should help our receiving core. And he'll be the number 2 receiver with Antonio Brown, of course, carrying the load. And let's face it, nobody on the Bengals can cover Antonio Brown. I don't care who they put on him, whether it's Pac-Man Jones and, please, you know, Drake Patrick. Yeah, right. Good luck with that, because he's been useless. Now, Jesse James quietly had a decent game. And I like for Jesse James to be involved with at least 6 catches today, because you have to make sure that middle is going to be, we know it's going to be wide open, because they're going to roll a bunch of help to Antonio Brown. They have to do it. There's no way around it. And also, let's face it, you saw the difference between Maurice Pouncey playing for the Steelers and Maurice Pouncey out, because trust me, that running game last week, that looked like the championship Steeler football. Now, is it great that Big Ben has all these passing yards? Yeah, cosmetically, it's beautiful. Can the Steelers survive on that during the regular season? Yeah, they can win 10, 11 games. But if they're balanced like they are, or at least like they were on Monday night against the Redskins, they are a championship team. When they run the football like that, we know that Big Ben is one of the top 3 play-action quarterbacks in all of pro football. The only other better play-action quarterbacks are Drew Brees, and I'm not going to put, as far as play-action, I'm not saying that Brady's not a great quarterback, but I'm talking about as far as the play-action game. Listen, it's Big Ben, Drew Brees, and Aaron Rodgers. They can do that better than anybody. And Big Ben really knows how to hide that football when it comes to that play-action pass. And it opens up so many different levels for them. And we already know that not too many guys throw a better deep ball than Big Ben Roethlisberger. And he showed that again. Now, he has a tendency to struggle sometimes against the Bengals. And that's because they have a wonderful, wonderful defensive line led by the great Geno Atkins. Listen, even though I'm not a Bengals fan, I can appreciate greatness when I see it. And Geno Atkins is truly a great football player. He is the heart and soul of that defense. Now, Carlos Dunlap is also very good as well. But listen, if we can pound the ball against them, we'll be fine. And let's face it, I know Le'Veon Bell obviously is out, but D'Angelo Williams is more than capable. If he gets 100 yards, Steelers win this game. As simple as that. If he doesn't, it could be a struggle. It'll be 50-50. But I'm telling you, money in the bank, D'Angelo Williams gets a buck or more, Steelers will walk away with a W easy. And I like when we run the football effectively because it validates the greatness of Pouncey. Also, David DeCastro has come along. Listen, Marshall Yanda is by far the best guard in pro football. David DeCastro, you could say, is second. I'm not going to say he's a close second because Yanda is one of the top 5 ever to do it. He really is. Let's be fair on that. Now, as far as our receivers go, Sammy Coates made some good plays. Eli Rogers made some good plays. It'll be interesting to see how they step up against the Cincinnati Bengals because this is really the first true test. And, of course, obviously a division rival. We need all the division games we can get because for some reason we tend to either go about 500 in the division. It would be nice to see the Steelers go, I'd say about 4-2 in the conference. Listen, we do that, we're fine. I don't want to hear that 3-3, 2-4 stuff. Wouldn't it be nice for a change just to keep that level of doubt in Cincinnati's head? Listen, Steelers have to do that. Follow the game plan, stick to the script, we should be fine. Please like and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. This is Claude Sports Corner. Take care and God bless.